Hello and welcome back to my channel. I had asked on my previous video if my viewers would like to see my monthly wrap-ups, and I did one for May, and I've gotten positive response that you would like to see one for June and then one for July and then going forward. So in this video we're going to just look at June. Now, I did 2 challenges in June. One was a group challenge on Instagram, which was for a challenging puzzle, and I chose 3. But then I also challenged myself with a handful of white mountain puzzles, which is why I did 6 for the month of June, as we're going to see in the next screenshots. So here in the Puzzle Tracker app, we have a pie graph. And then we also have an itemization: 6 White Mountain, 2 Blue Kazoo, 1 non-brand, and 1 Ravensburger. This next image from the Puzzle Tracker app simply shows how I completed 10 puzzles to the tune of 9,000 pieces in June. 8 were 1,000 piece puzzles, and I did 2 500 piece puzzles. And as you can see, the most frequent brand I did for June was White Mountain. So the first puzzle that I did in June was Sunday afternoon, a White Mountain puzzle. What I did for June was I selected a handful of White Mountain puzzles and I put them on the Spin the Wheel app, and this is the first one that I chose. Now, doing these was a lot of fun, and with the puzzle table that I use, it's a 2,000 piece puzzle table, so it takes these oversized White Mountain puzzles. I have 49 of them in my collection, and more than half of them I have not yet done, so I thought this would be a fun challenge, and I really enjoyed this first puzzle for June. So this next puzzle that I chose, according to the Spin the Wheel app, is By the Pond, yet another 1,000 piece puzzle. In fact, except for one of these White Mountain puzzles, most of them were 1,000 pieces for the month of June. Now, I love landscape puzzles. In fact, I love a variety of puzzles, but landscapes are one of my favorites, especially if there's a lot of sky, and that's what you see here with this puzzle here, By the Pond. However, it was missing that top edge piece, and that does kind of distract me for a minute while I'm putting the puzzle together, but nonetheless, it was a beautiful puzzle, and I enjoyed putting it together. So the Spin the Wheel app next selected Old World Street, which is a 500 piece puzzle. Now, even though there is a touch of sky in this image, it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. I really was a little bit surprised by this. I loved putting it together quite naturally because I enjoy jigsaw puzzles, and I like the easy, I like the hard, I like the super hard, and sometimes I even like the super easy. But this was a lot of fun. It's beautiful. It reminds me of, say, London or somewhere along that line, or somewhere that has cobblestone streets. In fact, as a Bostonian, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that there are plenty of areas in Boston that have cobblestone streets. So we move from the landscape or the scenery to a sweet, homely puzzle where Grandma is baking cookies with her grandchildren, or at least her granddaughter. We see her grandson is reading a book. The dogs are sitting there just hoping for and waiting for a treat. Please give me a treat. And then you see the mama dog with her puppies. I mean, what a beautiful image. I bought this puzzle maybe 3 or 4 years ago, so I'm glad it finally came up on my Wheel app so that I was able to do it in June. And if you like the homey feel, I have to mention that lone cat in the image and the chickens outside, a woman walking with a child, and a house in the background. I mean, it's just beautiful. So we moved back outside with summer gold to another beautiful scenic image with a house and a barn. Again, you see dogs. It looks like a male and female dog. Some puppies, some beautiful chairs on the lawn, and a beautiful pond to boot. I loved this puzzle. Okay, I'm a sky fanatic, so I love the sky, but the challenge of this puzzle was the water. Not even the green grass or the houses or the windows, but that water. But it was okay. It was still tons of fun. White Mountain has a lot of different types of puzzles. They have collages, they have sceneries, they have mysteries. Give them all to me. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to shy away. If it's not in my collection and I like the image, it just might end up in my collection one day. So the next puzzle that the app chose was Summer House, another 1,000 piece puzzle, still doing White Mountain puzzles. And I like this one here. This one kind of reminds me of the Masterpieces Cutaway or Inside Out puzzles, where you can see some of the insides of certain rooms. Like on the first level, you see the party that's outside, the balloons and the people in the swimming pool and whatnot. But when you look upstairs, you can kind of see inside one of the rooms. I like that. And then on the deck in the middle, it's just a really cool puzzle. I really enjoyed putting it together, and I don't think I've done any other White Mountain puzzle in this style before. So I exhausted my queue of White Mountain puzzles that I set aside for the month of June, just in time to join in on a puzzle challenge or a puzzle along that's part of an Instagram group that I belong to. And this particular puzzle along was your most challenging of puzzles. So I chose to do this Blue Kazoo moon puzzle as you're seeing right here. Now, let me tell you, I knew that this was going to be hard, and the two that I chose to work on during this challenge were Moon and Earth. I always try to go with the hardest one first, and then the one that I think will be easier, and that's how I did it with this one. I really loved it, and I'm so impressed with the Blue Kazoo quality. So the Instagram challenge is for 2 weeks. Sometimes the challenges run only a week, but this one ran 2 weeks. So then I decided to do Earth from Blue Kazoo. Now, I loved Earth, I loved Moon, and I loved Sun. Sun I did maybe a year ago. So since I love these puzzles so much, I looked on Amazon and the Blue Kazoo site to see what other planetary puzzles there are. I found Nebula, Pillars, and Starfield. And I have those in my collection, and when another challenge comes up that those puzzles will fit, I will definitely look forward to doing them at that time. I do want to get Mars, and I think right now only Antelope Puzzles has Mars. And I also wanted to mention on the Blue Kazoo site, they do have other planetary puzzles, but unless the price doesn't come down significantly, I won't be investing in them anytime soon. So I had a little bit more time left on the challenge, and as it turns out, my friend Heather sent me a bunch of puzzles. One of them is this one, Spanish Horse or Spanish Thoroughbred Horse. It's a no-name puzzle from Amazon, and it has letters on the back, and with it being a black and white puzzle that I wasn't familiar with the cut, the style, or whatever, and I believe all the pieces are shaped the same. But in any event, I did benefit from using the letters on the back to understand which sections went with which sections if I got stuck. Now, unfortunately, this puzzle was missing a piece, but I still enjoyed it. I very much appreciate my friend sending me this puzzle, And like I said, it fit perfectly in the Instagram challenge. So the last puzzle for the month of June is Kitsy Kitchen. This is an Amy Stewart 500-piece puzzle, my second 500-piece puzzle for June. And I decided to do this because, first of all, it's Amy Stewart. Secondly, on her group on Facebook, a bunch of people were working on this puzzle. Now, I was able to get this puzzle secondhand, and I didn't do this when the others were doing it, simply because I was waiting for it to come in a box of a bunch of other puzzles that I was buying from a particular seller. Now, in May, I fell into a rut. I think I only got 6 puzzles done, so I picked it up a little bit by getting 10 puzzles done in June. As you can see in this screenshot here, you see the 10 puzzles that I was able to do. And then I'll just run through this quick slideshow one more time of all 10 of them. Now, just for perspective, I did 6 in May. Well, let's back it up. I didn't do any in March. I'm not quite sure how many I did in April, but I did 6 in May. Here in June, as you can see, I did 10. And then July, I really hit it out of the park. I think I got 20 or 24 done in July. And in fact, that's why I decided to separate these videos by month. I thought I could do, say, a quarterly video, but if I had done that, the video would end up being an hour to an hour and a half long. So I want to thank those of you who responded in the comment section for my May videos as to whether or not you would like to see these monthly wrap-up videos. I wish I had thought about doing them at the beginning of the year, but I thought picking up in May would be a good start, and now you've got to see what I've done in June. So as I close this video out, I'll share one more image, and that image again is the summary of what I was able to get done in the month of June. So we are at the end of the puzzles that I completed in June, and I thought for the heck of it, I will show you what I have done for 2024 so far. Including the 3 puzzles I've done in August so far, I have completed 81 puzzles to the tune of 61,660 pieces. It breaks down how many of each size, and the most frequent brand was Ravensburger. And if you're a numbers person like I am, or a nerd, you might like to see the breakdown of the brands of puzzles that I did so far this year, with Ravensburger leading the pack at 29, and then several brands I've only done 1 puzzle in each brand so far. And the Puzzle Tracker app breaks down this information in beautiful pie charts, whether it is how many pieces per puzzle I completed or what brand of puzzle I completed. And like I mentioned, Ravensburger is at 29. And this bar chart shows what I've done per month. 16 in January, 8 in February, none in March, 14 in April, 6 in May, 10 in June, 24 in July, and 3 so far in August. Bottom bar graph shows the number of piece counts per month, with April edging out July. And the last couple of minutes of this video is chronologically all of the puzzles I have done in 2024. I'm not quite sure how to flip this chart upside down on the Puzzle Tracker app. I'll have to look at that a little bit more, but if you want to watch the rest of the video, this is just going to show you the names of the puzzles that I've done this year. This is helpful if there's any puzzles that I've done in any of the videos that you're interested in, or that you are reminded of, so that you can have an idea on what the names of the puzzles are, and that might help you if you decide to purchase some of these for your collection. So I will just let this video play through. I do want to thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate all the time that you devote to this channel and for the wonderful comments that you leave in my videos. And also, I would like to say, if you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the like button so that others can get a chance to see this video. So like I said, I'm going to let it play through, but thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.